Good morning. It is Monday morning, October 21st, and in the great state of Texas, that means early voting. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why you should probably think about going and voting early this time. This time? It's early, folks. It is early, and it's the start to a week, and I understand that topics like this probably don't hit as well on a Monday, but I'm going to ask you to, if you need to, pause this video, go grab yourself a cup of coffee, take a few sips off of it, and then come back to it, because I think this is going to be an important coffee talk, and I hope that my fears are going to be nothing. But I really feel like this is a coffee talk that is very important to record. So if you need to go ahead and pause, go ahead and do that now. Grab your coffee, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, so to kick this thing off, I'm going to read to you the first few lines of a poem that I think will probably help illustrate exactly why I think you might want to consider going to vote early this year. And by the way, I really don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you go and vote early and get your vote counted. That's all this is about. This is about as political as this episode is going to get. Okay? Let's move on. Remember, the 5th of November, the Gunpowder Treason and Plot. I know of no reason why the Gunpowder Treason should ever be forgot. Those words are kind of chilling, especially when you consider that this year our election is held on November 5th. Now, for those of you not aware, I will be including links in the description of this video as to what exactly the Gunpowder Plot was, but Robert Catesby in 1605 led a rebellion against the King of England, where they planted 36 barrels of gunpowder beneath the House of Commons in an attempt to, or what their goal was, to blow up the House of Commons, thereby removing essentially Parliament and the King, so that way they could then replace the royal family with the person of their choosing. Now, I'm not going to go deep into the political wheres and whys, but it was a political related event in history that fortunately was thwarted, and for those of you who know your history, you obviously know that this, of course, is the incident that brought the name Guy Fawkes to popularity. Now, Guy Fawkes was actually the person appointed on the evening of November 4th to guard the 36 barrels, so he was actually caught after an anonymous letter was sent to, I believe it was a security for Parliament. Regardless, Guy Fawkes is the one who was caught red-handed with a lantern and a match that was lit. So, I'll spare you the gory details of what fate befell Guy Fawkes and his co-conspirators. But to say that attempts at political assassinations seem to be relevant this year, considering we've had two attempts against one of our political constituents who are running for the office of president. So the fact that we have had two attempts on a candidate's life so far in this election process, and the date falls on November 5th, I just feel like conspiracy theories abound, and I'll be honest, I'm feeling the same in my sense that I hope I'm wrong, but I do fear something horrible is going to happen on Election Day on November 5th. Those fears were confirmed back on October 8th of this year when in Oklahoma City, a terror attack that was planned to take place on Election Day, November 5th, 2024, was thwarted, and an individual who I will not name, not because I can't, but because I don't want to give him his 15 minutes of fame. You can look him up. I'll put a link to the Department of Justice's website with the press release, so you can look it up and read it yourself if you're so inclined. But the terror attack was going to be conducted and carried out in the name of ISIS. So we have a historic date for our election. We have 2 assassination attempts on one of the political pundits running for office, and we have a thwarted terrorist attack that was to take place on Election Day, the 5th of November. This is the reason why I think you should very, very seriously consider, beyond very seriously consider, I implore you to go and vote early, just to avoid any sort of chance that, one, something does happen on Election Day and you're unable to vote, and you can't get your vote counted in whatever state and for whatever candidate you choose. But 2, if something is to happen on Election Day, if you use early voting and just pick a random day in the next 2 weeks to go and cast your vote, then your odds of something happening are minimal, right? That's just common sense. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in right now. And I sincerely want each and every one of you who follow this channel to go and vote and use your voice in this election. I can't stress enough how important I think this election cycle is. And I think a lot of you know the reasons why. And again, I'm not trying to dissuade you to vote for a particular candidate. Your vote is your vote. I just want you to protect your vote and ensure that your vote is counted. And with everything we've seen in the news, with the assassination attempts, with the confirmed planned ISIS attack that was to be carried out on Election Day, it would be irresponsible of us to think that there are not other bad actors in the country today, considering how the influx at the border with immigrants and people who we just don't know who they are flooding into the country, and they are unvetted. These individuals do not hold high regard for us and want to see America in shambles. So I think that this is one of those times that I am praying that I'm wrong and that nothing happens on November 5th, but my gut's telling me that something is going to unfold in the next 2 weeks. And call me a conspiracy theorist, call me what you will, but I feel it's important to get this message out, and that it was important for me to do so now that early voting in a lot of states has opened up. So I appreciate your attention. I know it is a heavy topic of conversation for a Monday morning coffee talk. I get that. We will resume with the more lighthearted conversations in our coffee talk on Wednesday. But again, please, I implore you, get out, vote early, use your voice, do it before November 5th. And everybody, I will ask, just say a silent prayer for our country, and that God watches over us. Again, thank you for being here. I sincerely appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments section. Have a great week, everyone.